Hello, and I'm making this video because I just came back from a day of attempted indoctrination, but I did not succumb. I'm still on the path of truth. Anywho, I wanted to update everyone that I am now a naturopathic doctor, or a doctor of naturopathy. I did earn my degree actually back in June. I know it's August now, so I'm a little delayed in my response, but um, not that having letters behind my name means absolutely anything, nor do I expect people to call me doctor. It's just, I don't know, something that I earned. And with that, I want to once again remind everybody that I will accept, or I am accepting clients if anyone is seeking out health advice. I also offer help with helping people understand how the human body works. I am currently working full-time as a college professor of human anatomy and physiology. So I'm quite able to describe the functioning of the human body as well as, describing the anatomy. Forthcoming things to expect from me. I do plan on working on a more in-depth review of the kidneys and the lymphatic system, and try to pull in some of what I had learned from Dr. Robert Morris with regards to how these organ systems really work. There is the way that the traditional allopathic system describes the function of the lymphatic system with regards to the elimination from the kidneys. And there's the way Dr. Morse describes it. And unfortunately, a lot of the research that's out there doesn't really back up what he claims, but what he describes is more intuitive. It's more logical, actually. Dr. Morris describes that the kidneys are filtering our lymph. Now, we do know that the kidneys do filter the blood. There are little blood capillaries called glomeruli. Singularly, it's called a glomerulus. And these little capillaries are the sites where blood filtration takes place. But as I presented at, I think the level 1 ISOD a couple of years ago, there are a lot of lymphatics in the kidneys as well. And maybe in this video, since I'll be editing it, I will include some of those images showing the lymphatic system within the kidneys. So even though science has not provided a means or a mechanism of how exactly the kidneys are filtering the lymph, Dr. Morris has come up with several theories of his own, and I think the way he describes it makes sense. I've been teaching for, almost 20 years now. I've been teaching college level human anatomy and physiology. And it wasn't until I think I started listening to Dr. Morris's videos in 2011, when I thought to myself, wow, this guy, I don't know who he is, but he makes a lot of sense. And I started really listening to what he had to say, because Dr. Morris has almost 50 years of experience working with clients, working with the people that want or are seeking true health. And, allopathy really doesn't have much to offer. I mean, people go to the doctor, they get diagnosed, and that's when they're trapped. They're trapped into this box of a diagnosis. And with that diagnosis, there are certain standards of practice that in the allopathic medical field, they have to offer the patient, and usually patients don't know any better, and they take these different drugs, or they agree to these various surgeries, and they end up worse at the end of all of it. And the people are not getting healthier, they're getting more and more sick. And a lot of people, having gone through this, are sick and tired of not gaining true health. And that's when they find people like Dr. Morse or the other people that work in natural health. And that's why the natural health field has taken off. And there's a lot of options out there. I mean, there's naturopathy, there's herbology, there's natural hygiene, there's homeopathy. So many different areas outside of allopathy that you could choose. But I, like Dr. Morse, prefer the simplistic route. If you've ever heard of something called Occam's razor, usually the more simplistic or the most simplistic explanation is the correct one. And Dr. Morse keeps it simple. And he empowers everyone out there to become their own doctor, to become their own healthcare provider. I tell people, if you don't want to get diagnosed with cancer, don't go to a doctor and get diagnosed, because that's where, again, they'll kind of stick you into this box, and then they create all of this fear. When I was working with Dr. Morris at his clinic, I had one of my clients tell me that the doctor was actually harassing her after she had been diagnosed with cancer, and she didn't want their treatments. She was trying to avoid chemotherapy, and they kept calling her, and they were harassing her every day, calling her. And, why would they do that? If they're so sure of their mode of treatment, why not give people that freedom to choose what they want to do? And if people want to choose chemotherapy, I wish you the best of luck. I find the human organism to be so amazing that it can withstand chemotherapy and come out the other end, because they're basically injecting directly into your blood very acidic chemicals that can destroy all tissues. Yeah, it can destroy the cancerous tissues, but it's also destroying healthy tissues. And I really think you're putting your body at a great risk when you expose yourself to these chemicals. And yes, there are research articles. You can send them all my way. But having been in medical research, as well as being in the educational field, I see how these things work. And I see how data is manipulated. I see how research is manipulated. And to publish something into a journal that's approved by the peers of the people that are probably profiting off of drugs and other things that these journal articles are supporting, you've got to question all of that. I'm not here to coerce anybody. I'm not here to make a lot of money. In fact, I've lost money. I have my salary has drastically declined over the past 5 years. My salary has actually been cut in half because I left a very high paying college professor job, and now I'm making much less money. But anyway, it's not about money. We're not here to collect poor dead trees flattened to paper dollar bills. We're not here to collect that. We're here to shine the light on truth. We're here to reduce suffering. We're here to actually empower human beings so that humans can come to the point where they know their true potential and their true purpose. And we're kind of caged right now, and it's getting worse. If you've heard of the news of Alex Jones, whether you're a fan of him or not, he is one person out there sharing the truth. And maybe his truth is a little weird to some people. Maybe it's off. But I think, like many of us, he's against the control systems that are limiting our ability to make decisions, limiting what knowledge is available to us. And he does not like the powers that they should not be. Those powers are truly oppressive. So things are not getting any better. It's kind of scary out there, folks. My partner and I have even, talked about moving to a different country because it's getting so scary out there. But, we want to help people and reduce the suffering on this planet. So I'm going to post my website below this video. And if you'd like a consultation, please check out my website. I've got some information about me on there. You can also book an appointment directly on the website. So that's all there available. And I'd be more than happy to work with anybody that's struggling with their health. Whether it be you just kind of want to feel better, you want to be less tired, you want more energy, all the way to you're afraid, which I understand because something's just not right, or maybe you've been diagnosed with something and you're afraid and you just need help making an informed decision. If anything, having gone through medical school myself, maybe you don't have anybody in your life and you're not sure which way to go. And I don't coerce people. I don't tell people to completely avoid allopathic doctors. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that you want to go into any situation with as much knowledge as possible, with kind of a nice array of what all of your options truly are. It's just not one path. There's just not one way to heal. And, I have my own opinion of the way I prefer to heal myself. And for my loved ones, this is the path that I highly recommend. And I just want to allow that option to be available to anyone out there. We still live in somewhat of a free world, I guess. It's getting worse and worse, though. And so, while we still have the option to choose that health protocol that we want, I'm offering an option in the spirit of what Dr. Morse teaches, which includes herbs and natural hygiene and a diet based on the foods that humans were biologically meant to ingest. And also I like to provide in my consultations education. How does your body work? Because I believe if you understand how your body works, if it makes sense to you, you've got that knowledge and you've got the reason, you've got something going on in your body which is giving you the drive. That combination, the knowledge and the drive and the reason, that will help you push forward and truly get to a point where you can experience true health or a better state of health compared to where you are today. So my information will be below. I'm going to try to keep this video nice and short. I wish you all a beautiful day. Thank you.